What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's cabinet is expected to propose a 16% increase in defense spending for 2027 to set a new record. That's according to sources quoted by the country's official central news agency. The increase would take the total budget up past $34 billion, breaking the 1 trillion new Taiwan dollar mark for the first time. The figure represents more than 3% of GDP, in line with NATO spending targets. An official announcement is expected to follow a cabinet meeting on August 20th. Typhoon Dolphin uprooted trees and left travel operators playing catch-up after passing Taiwan over the weekend. More than 100 flights were canceled and ferry routes suspended. There were also reports of minor incidents due to falling debris. Weather reports show there are now 2 other tropical storms and 1 tropical depression out in the Pacific, but none are likely to affect Taiwan. As global AI leaders continue to expand their data centers, the amount of electricity they need rises as well. Taiwanese companies are at the center of efforts to reduce power consumption and make them more efficient. Ai-Chi reports.
Major AI players like Google and Microsoft are pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into AI data centers to expand their capabilities. But ensuring these facilities have the power they need has become increasingly important and increasingly challenging.
关键在于说 AI 资料中心它的用电量越来越大，那其实是对于地区区域的电力会有很大的一个压力。之前的云端资料中心，我们可能是10-20 M 瓦这样子的规模可能就足够了。那现在可能我们在讲大型的 AI 资料中心，可能动辄是上百 M 瓦。
According to Market Intelligence and Consulting Institute, reducing the annual electricity consumption of a typical 100 megawatt AI data center by just 1% can save enough electricity to power around 2,500 households. When local power grids have limited capacity, meeting those data centers' 24/7 power demands requires not only expanding electricity supply, but also improving energy efficiency to reduce consumption. That's where companies like Delta Electronics, a leading supplier of power infrastructure to companies like NVIDIA and Amazon, come in. At Delta's Zhongli Plant 5 in Taoyuan, engineers demonstrate how its technologies and energy solutions are being adapted to power their customers' evolving needs. And senior executives say their solutions are well received among their clients.
客户对这样的一个解决方案，其实他是非常的 appreciate， 就是说我们可以提供这个方案，让他的这个效率可以提升，然后可以提供他的客户更多的算力，让每一个 token 的这个成本可以降低。
The International Energy Agency expects data center electricity consumption to more than double by 2030. As AI expands and evolves, growing energy demand will require power infrastructure with greater scale, stability, and efficiency. The company's latest energy solutions focus on microgrids, energy management systems that combine different power sources and automatically switch between them to optimize power supply. These powerful tools could mean a reliable and efficient energy source for power-hungry data centers.
那我们现在加速的去布建我们在区域电网这个 microgrid 这边整个的这个 smart AI 的这些解决方案，我们也希望在整个的这个用新的这些技术能够强化这些不管用电端跟供电端这边的整个的能源的韧性。
Taiwanese power equipment suppliers like Delta are well positioned to capitalize on the growing demand.
它会慢慢的从硬体的电源供应，然后往外去扩张，提供一些储能以及发电设备。那最后再透过一个整体性的一个服务的软硬体方案，把它整合在一起。
Global data center power infrastructure is expected to reach around $30 billion by 2034. Companies like Delta have already seen the AI boom reflected in their stock performance, with shares more than doubling over the past year. The company reported record high revenue of around $17 billion last year and expects AI to continue being its main business driver.
With AI expansion showing no signs of slowing, Taiwanese suppliers like Delta are well positioned to benefit from the ever-growing needs driven by the global AI boom. Luffy Li, NIT in Taoyuan for TaiwanPlus.
A new wave of wildfires has swept through much of Europe and Canada. That's as prolonged droughts and extreme heat waves have become ever more frequent in these regions. Erin Ling has more.
Firefighters rushing to put out the wildfire that has spread to a Serbian nature reserve. The country is scrambling to contain the blaze amid extreme heat and drought in Europe this summer. 3 days since the fire started, thick, dark smoke still covers much of its sky. Helicopters and crews on the ground continue to cool down forest hotspots with water and extinguishers. Neighboring Bulgaria has seen similar scenes this week, with a woodland blaze closing a main highway near the capital, Sofia. Meanwhile, in Spain, firefighters there are starving the local wildfire by cutting branches and bushes. Over 300 people have been evacuated. In Italy, aircraft join ground crews to put out fires in the hills above Lake Garda. Reports say at least 200 residents and holidaymakers have been evacuated. And it's not just in Europe. Canada's west coast is facing what's known as the Bold Range wildfire. Authorities in British Columbia have declared an emergency in the province. Police stationed on highways to block people from heading toward the wildfire strip, while thousands of affected residents have been ordered to evacuate. Some left their homes overnight.
The fire went from 50 hectares to 400 to 1,000 to 5,000, like within 2 or 3 hours. And what was once 15 kilometers away is now right here at the hill. And yeah, so now we're just getting our animals ready, and we're probably gonna head back to Kelowna before the highway closes.
Officials said the wildfire has created the conditions for self-propagation.
The Category 5 and 6 fires, the terminology they use, but it basically means that there's just the fire goes across the top of the trees. He described flames on a 100-foot tree, flames going 200 feet above that, and the fire creating its own weather system, which creates lightning, which then feeds on itself.
Climatologists have observed the hottest temperatures in Europe and North America since May, when on and off heat waves swept through these regions. Other countries like Hungary are warning its citizens of serious drought and bracing for similar scenes. Andy Xue and Erin Ling for TaiwanPlus.
Baking heat and long droughts usually spell disaster for agriculture. But for the salt farmers of Indonesia, the extreme temperatures bring a welcome boost to harvest. Reese Ayers reports.
For most farmers in Indonesia, blistering heat and prolonged droughts are something to fear. But for these salt farmers in West Java, the high and dry temperatures, intensified by a strengthening El Nino, are more than welcome.
Because when there's a long drought, production increases, production continues every day, and the harvest continues during the El Nino season because it is a long drought.
Is that good for you?
Yes, it is good. It is profitable.
The farmers here use simple, century-old techniques to evaporate seawater from shallow coastal pools. In the same month last year, this area produced 25 to 30 tons of salt. But with the ongoing drought, production this July has increased 20-fold.
It is already hitting 600 tons, so the drought is likely to continue from August to October, but hopefully it will prolong to September through November, and then the possibility of a more abundant harvest will be higher.
While it may be good for salt farmers, for others across Southeast Asia and beyond, the baking heat means lower crop yields and more wildfires. This year's El Nino is already a strong one and could contribute to bring more record-breaking temperatures.
2026 so far has been the third warmest year on record through June, but we expect it to get much warmer in the coming months as this very strong El Nino event continues to develop.
As global temperatures climb, these farmers are making the most of every scorching day, aware that a single rainstorm could interrupt this year's bumper harvest.
For us, El Nino is a blessing and a grace. It is something we should be grateful for and allow us to give more to others. For me, if I ask from God and He is willing, I hope El Nino will come every year.
While millions across the region pray for the relief of rain, for the salt farmers in West Java, every extra day of drought means more money in their pockets. Chris Ma and Reese Ayers for TaiwanPlus.
As Taiwan celebrated Father's Day over the weekend, some dads were able to spend time at home with their young children thanks to a more flexible parental leave system. But not all eligible fathers can enjoy this benefit. Irene Lin is back with this report.
Cradling his now 8-month-old daughter, Wu Zongyuan is one of the few full-time dads in Taiwan. He's set to go back to work at the end of the month after he and his wife each took 6 months of paid leave to spend more time with their newborn.
就是后来会一起请的决定，是因为我们觉得说，就是小孩的成长只有一次，那我们刚好也是都是新手爸妈，就是2个人一起去面对，因为毕竟我们是自己住外面，然后其实算是没有后援的情况。其实现在目前有8升薪嘛。 但我们就是其实我跟他有讨论过、衡量过之后，其实我们2个人8升薪加起来，算是有办法支应生活的支出。对。
The current rules allow parents like Wu to take a total of 2 years off before the child turns 3. 6 months of it are paid up to a maximum of about $1,100, while the rest is unpaid. And as of this January, parents are also allowed to take 30 individual days off. Thanks to the extra flexibility, there have been more fathers taking time off to be with family. They even surpassed the number of mothers on leave in May, according to the Labor Ministry's latest figures. Still, the numbers show that more than half of all applicants are women. Some local NGOs worry that traditional gender roles persist.
在台湾常常都把这样子的这个责任，其实是转嫁给女性的这个部分，那造成女性劳动参与率在30岁之后大幅下降的这个部分。那其实另外一个层面，我们也看到男性他也遇到同样的这个状况，他可能要花更多的心力在职场上面去努力。
These assumptions often translate into tangible salary bonuses for working fathers, tilting the income scale in their favor over mothers when deciding who should keep working.
因为过去我们会有一个词叫做父职红利，也就是因为传统预设爸爸是养家者，所以爸爸在生了小孩之后，可能他的薪资薪酬有可能因为有小孩之后，他反而比如说加班时数更长，或者是主管也会觉得，哎，今天你是一个爸爸，你看起来是一个可靠的人，所以在薪资升迁上面会比女性有更多的机会。请假之后，他的收入会相对锐减非常多，那其实是不利整个家里就是维持经济收入安全的。
For fathers who want to take time off, workplace advantages and pressure can also make it harder for them to step away from the job, especially if they work in competitive industries like tech.
一般的家长应该是大概在他的工作年资可能在3到5年左右，职场在压力，然后工作的分量多，然后再来就是他在支配权上面比较少的状况下，政府机关的那个 法令啊，它的强制性可能要再更高一点。大的电子业或者是比较大的机构，它开始身先士卒，或者它起一个示范的作用，其实这个就会带领我们整个工作环境的改变。
And relief may be in sight. The cabinet is looking to add several benefits on top of the current parental leave rules. The 6 months of paid leave could become 9 months. The 30 flexible days of leave will become 60 days, and parents with children under 6 years old will also be eligible.
就是如果有孩子有突发状况，譬如说要看医生，或者是保姆临时的，就是可能就是整日的也需要请假的话，我自己会觉得说比较不用担心说，哦，我是不是我还有没有就是额外的假可以去请。
Taiwan has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. Cross-party consensus is building in the legislature for measures to ease a potential demographic crisis. And parents and activists hope that the latest reform will help change gender roles and workplace culture, giving fathers and their children more time to bond. Devin Tsai and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, take a look at hundreds of colorful kites filling the skies over Colombo, Sri Lanka for the International Kite Festival. I'm Yvonne. Take care, and I'll see you next time.